If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live direct from the Vista Smoke Me Out family. With that dang shit on my left, old ninja in the world, old ninja.
It's usually considered bad form when you're invited to a swingers party and you start punching people. So usually, if a couple says no, you just move on to the next couple and you just wait till you get a yes. Don't be like Ezra. Don't be like them.
Mm. On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, choking people out on threes and fours, Chronos.
Have you ever been possessed by a vomit and fecal demon? Because I have.
Yeah.
It happened recently. It's terrible. I want to call the Ghostbusters. I'm just saying. I had a very bad day. A very bad day.
Last but not least, we got your boy Blue.
If it's 7 o'clock and she doesn't know where Usher is, she's too young for you, bro.
Oh, man, in the drop top.
Yeah, he's cruising the streets.
I was playing it in my head too. I was like, I know that song.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I'm surprised somebody made a little 420 reference.
It is 420.
Yeah,
it's 420. But I'd take shots at Prodigy's boy. Yeah, I'd take shots at Prodigy's boy.
How is he my boy? What the fuck?
It's your boy.
All right, we'll get into that later. Kronos, you usually got some statistical analysis.
That I do. Listener of the week would be placeholder 02. So I guess you didn't find a name. But also you found a name, so that works. And first in the chat will be nobody thus far. It's 420. They might have forgot that today's Wednesday. But it doesn't matter. We're bringing the dankness, whether you're high or not, or drunk, or whatever drug of choice you decide to do. Do your damn thing.
Because it got high.
Yeah. That was a great song.
Yeah, I have my vape pen sitting here, and I want to smoke it, but it's going to fuck with my body.
It's going to make it feel better.
Yeah, for a moment.
You won't care anymore. Old Ninja, who are you pouring out some type of frothy multi-beverage for this week?
Bro, it's only frothy if you shake it.
Or you nut in it.
Oh, don't drink the pale ale. We gonna pour out some old English this week. We're gonna start with Rio Hackford. He's the son of director Taylor Hackford, who directed Ray, The Devil's Advocate, Officer and a Gentleman. He's also the stepson of Helen Mirren. He was the character actor, not the voice, of the robot IG-11 in the Disney Plus series The Mandalorian. He also had roles in shows such as Treme on HBO as Toby, and in more recent series, he was on the Hulu series Pam and Tommy. He was also a bar owner who owned bars both in New Orleans and California. He died of cancer on April 14th. He was 52.
Damn. Oh, Ninja, please clear something up for me because I'm genuinely curious. I'm not high. When you said he's not the voice actor but a character actor in the show, but it's an animated character, so what did he do?
No. So the Mandalorian, he was in the Mandalorian, he was basically the mocap pretty much. So he did all the body motions. He was the one that was actually on set. He spoke the lines or did the beeps or whatever, and then in post production it was Takiti Watiti. He was dubbed in as the voice, but he did all the actual physical stuff on set. So he's the type of actor to where you don't know his name, but when you see a picture of him, you're like, oh, I know that guy. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. So he's like one of those. But it's unfortunate he died of a rare cancer as well. Next up, we have Liz Sheridan. She's best known as Helen Seinfeld, the mom of Jerry Seinfeld on the show Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
She'd also had a recurring role on the hit TV series Alf. On Alf, she played Raquel Ochemick, the grumpy neighbor, and she's appeared in over a dozen episodes of the show. She's also the voice of Mrs. Stillman in the animated sitcom Life with Louie, alongside Louie Anderson, who just recently passed. She would later write a book about her 1950s romantic entanglement with James Dean, which was published in the year 2000. The book is titled Dizzy and Jimmy, My Life with James Dean, A Love Story. She
Hold
was
on,
a
August.
Hold on. Was she the throat goat for James Dean? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just said she had an entanglement. I
That was
don't know
only
how
Reagan.
long. I mean, if you want to know more, read her book. Read her book.
All right.
She was a Broadway actress, and she was doing appearances on popular 80s shows such as Remington Steele, A-Team, and Scarecrow and Mrs. King before she landed her recurring role on Alf. She died of natural causes at the age of 93.
Oh damn. She was
There
up
we
there.
go. That is that for this week.
All right. Holy shit.
Nice.
And actually, I got a happy birthday shout out to my homeboy Uncle Steve. He's a fan of the podcast. He's probably listening now, or he'll probably be listening on later because today's his birthday. So happy birthday, Uncle Steve. Hope you're having fun with your lady.
Which Steve is it? Like the Steve that we just hung out with a couple weeks ago?
Yeah,
Happy
that's
birthday,
Steve.
man.
Yeah.
Good
What I
shit.
donate to Rescue Rangers? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, exactly. We're Chippendales, Rescue Rangers. We're out there. We're solving crimes. Looking like what was the? They look like I forget the characters.
Indiana Jones and Magnum PI.
Magnum PI. Yeah.
They sure did
That's
look
what we
like
do.
that.
We
in those
cosplay
Yes,
as
they
that. We
did.
help. We solve problems. We're like the A-Team, but we dress up as chipmunks that are knockoff characters of other characters. So it's very confusing, but it's also very
That's awesome.
fun. Yeah,
They
he.
supposed to be making a live action version of that.
Are they really?
Yeah, Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it looks really bad.
That's sad. They should.
Well, 'cause one of them's 3D animated, and the other one's still like cartoon animated. And I guess like one gets an upgrade, and like it's, I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this.
Hey,
All
everybody-
I know is when we saw the stills from the Powerpuff Girls, they canceled that shit right away. Like they put out them stills and everybody started clowning and they were like, nope, this ain't gonna work.
Oh.
Hopefully that didn't happen with
because
Chippendale.
one of them
It
left.
didn't
That's
get
why.
canceled. Yeah, one of them left, but it didn't get canceled. They reshot.
They ain't got no release date.
No.
There's only been one movie that has ever like reshot and actually made it better, and that was Sonic. So there's hope,
Mm-hmm.
but it's real fucking slim, y'all. It's real slim.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck. What's going on, Jason, in the chat? Jason's in the chat now, so it's good to see him back.
Good shit. We got a squad up in there. Old Ninja. Let's start with you. You kind of alluded to it a little bit. What's up with your boy? You got to claim your boy again. Why is he wilding out
don't you
in
do-
Hawaii?
No. This is your boy. You talk about him more than anybody else that I know.
He's always in the news.
But before he was in the news, you were writing almost full-on articles about this fucking dude. Everybody else is going about their day. All of a sudden, Ezra this, Ezra ain't shit. He's not my Flash. And you start putting out hashtags and shit. And like everyone's like, why is this dude going off anyway? We're like, I don't know. I think he was reading the Flash comics.
Dude,
Anyway.
I tried to tell everybody Ezra ain't shit. And
See?
now innocent people are being hurt in Hawaii.
Maybe he's really the Reverse Flash. Maybe that's the thing. That's the
Oh,
thing.
shit.
Maybe.
Oh, so his real name's Eobor.
He's going meta on this shit.
Damn.
He's trying to mess up Ezra's real life.
Damn.
Whack that shit.
So if you don't know, even though we talked about it last week, we're going to sound like a broken record, as we usually do. But Ezra got arrested again in Hawaii, literally yesterday. Apparently, the details at first were not released, but apparently he went to someone else's house or like some kind of party, and like the Kool-Aid man was busting through. Apparently, he grabbed some girl by the hair and punched her in the face. He did some other bullshit I wasn't quite clear on because it didn't make sense to me.
Threw a stool at someone.
Yeah,
I
Was
think
that
a
there?
woman.
So I thought he knocked over stuff randomly. I don't know if I didn't hear that he threw something at
Yeah.
someone.
Here said he said he threw a chair to struck a 26-year-old woman on her forehead, like, and it gave her a half an inch cut, but she did not go to or she refused treatment.
I want you to know really clearly, if pretty much anybody did this other than Ezra, and even Ezra is getting rightly so some heat for it, they'd be called this incredible thugged out, domestic terrorist almost because of these repeated incidents. Ezra is a piece of shit, and he's attacked, it seems like, innocent women in Hawaii. for no fucking apparent reason at all. There
Well-
doesn't seem like there's any justification for this whatsoever.
He's attacked a couple and women, and there's the video from what
Hold on.
2020.
He's attacked a couple and women and a couple of women.
There's a video from 2020 where he like choke slams a girl.
I remember that.
So
But-
yeah,
I mean, Blue's got to ask though. Was she 200 pounds?
With a
Yeah,
Right.
fat-
right.
he
I
didn't
mean,
have a bat.
Did he have a
though.
bat? I mean,
No, he didn't have no bat.
He had a chair. So
we
Oh,
have
he didn't have a chair.
we have more documented evidence of him being a
wait,
abuser
wait.
of women. Hold on.
They being.
Yeah, fine. No, actually, no. Fuck that. I'm not even using them. Fuck his pronouns. We have more documented evidence of Ezra abusing women than we do of Chris Brown.
Damn.
that's true though.
fuck. Truth.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I mean,
But I mean, Chris Brown did it though. He's a piece of shit. But you know,
yeah,
them
and,
facts,
So
though.
was
Those are
Ezra.
facts. Those are
and
facts.
he admitted to it.
Ezra's a show enough piece of shit, and we seem to just kind of collectively say incident after it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago that we were talking about Ezra doing the same.
A week ago,
fucking shit.
literally last week, same time last week.
Get this motherfucker off the island.
Hey, I told you my solution. Either send him to Texas or Florida. My vote is Florida because these are grade A Florida man stories right here. Grade A Florida man stories. So then you can make
That's
fun
all
of
that.
Florida.
Guy goes to karaoke, ends up in a swinger party, gets mad that he's not getting it, and throws a chair.
Tell me it's not a Florida man story.
Hits people in the face.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sounds like some
And-
coked up dude doing some Florida man shit right there.
Yeah, I mean,
And real talk on this too. Like, some people get all upset, right pronouns for Ezra and whatnot. At this point, because of Ezra's own repeated history of violence, I don't give a fuck anymore. We can't be more concerned with his fucking stupid ass pronouns than we can his actual victims. And there are people being hurt by him. Fuck all the other noise.
I said it earlier. I'm gonna say it again. Prodigy, you need to talk to your boy. You need to go get him. Tell him to start acting right. I guess he ain't. He's probably not. He's probably gonna punch you in the face if you told him this. But I'm just
You gotta
saying.
throw a chair at you.
Yeah.
Stool or whatever.
Dude, and the other thing is, let's also destroy this whole narrative of, oh, we need to get out the violins and Ezra needs help. No, Ezra needs to be in fucking jail. Ezra's a
Mhm.
danger to Ezra
Society?
himself.
He needs
society.
to have some sort of consequences because
Of course.
I mean, look, the guy got out of jail for a week, and he's already back in jail. For for being a menace to society, basically. And it's like, just imagine if he was some black dude. Even in Hawaii, he still would have been like fucking, or even a local. Like, just imagine being like a local Hawaiian. Like, you can't be fucking out there like doing all that kind of sorts of violence towards people. It's like, come on, I don't know why the fuck they let him out of jail that quickly. Now he's back in jail. So I don't know. They need to figure out a solution for him, and it's not letting him back into society right away. So
I'm actually really surprised because here on the New York Times, it says his bail was only $500. It's like, this dude's
What
got
the fuck?
thousands of dollars, and you only set a bail for $500. Like, what fuck's gonna get out?
well, it depends on
Yeah.
if they press charges and how much it was misdemeanor or. I mean, if Stitcher's on here, it can break it down. But if it was a felony or a misdemeanor, there's like minimums and shit like that. So,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but-
he didn't kill nobody, but
Yeah,
still
it's
though.
He still attacked people at a
Yeah.
private event. Like, it was
Yeah.
probably a black. Like I said, when you go to a swinger party and somebody says no, it's bad form to get mad. You just move on to the next couple.
Remember when we had that video and it was egregious as fuck, where the football player Ray Rice was
Oh yeah.
beating the shit out of his then girlfriend in the elevator, and it was like
Mhm.
awful, but on repeat, and everybody was like, "This is a monster of a human being." Again, more documented incidents of Ezra doing violence
Yeah.
against
This is
women
quite-
than even Ray Rice.
This is quite strange. My daughter's in there.
I knew it. I knew
Yeah.
you were gonna say something because it's a little weird, but
She asked the question.
okay.
We'll get to it in
Yeah.
a minute though.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, though, what really sucks is that this is going to have a big fucking impact on the Flashpoint movie that's coming out.
I mean,
I know the studios are already pushing it back, and Luke, I just want to see fucking Michael Keaton as Batman again.
Well,
when it comes down to
you
it.
know what? This is perfect for Flashpoint because you can Flashpoint his ass right the fuck out of the time, right out of the
Right.
timeline. So
you sure
yeah,
fucking
super
can.
easy.
Write his ass
Real
out.
easy.
Yeah.
God damn.
I mean, a Snyder cut came out of nowhere, so I'm not sure why we can have a Snyder Flashpoint cut version.
We can have an Ezra cut where he's cut the
Ezra
fuck out of all the movies.
Actually, who is directing the Flash? I mean, you can easily get it. Grant Gustin is already primed up. He knows the character. Y'all won't have to look far to recast. You won't have to do a whole bunch of shit. Just bring him up very easily.
What? If I was Grant, though, I'd be like, look here. Y'all have had me play the Flash, Barry Allen, for 9 fucking years. You made this choice of Ezra, which was a shitty choice, obviously. Don't ask me to come fix it now. I'm fucking done.
He has that right. He does, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that could potentially put his future in the TV show in jeopardy, but that opens him up to a bigger paycheck if he goes to the, theatrical releases.
The Flash is wrapping up soon. I think this might be the final season, so
I don't think so. Maybe
it might be less. I feel like the Flash is kind of running on his last leg right now.
Maybe it's been on for a minute.
The show still good, but like, how many times can Flash fight against another speedster?
Well, I mean, he's been fighting against more aliens recently. I haven't caught up, but the crossover beginning of this season was like a time traveling alien, so
I think
that worked out.
Yeah. If they wrapped around Flashpoint into with the show and the movie, that'd be a perfect way to revitalize both. So they could easily do it.
And they've pretty much done it already. It just hasn't. It wasn't like it didn't completely reverberate because they went their separate ways, but they could totally do it again.
Yeah.
Yep. The other thing I'll say this. I mean, I think all of us. I'm hoping all of us have been to Hawaii. Man, when you're in Hawaii, you're chill as fuck usually, man. It's fucking paradise and shit. Usually you got a fucking Mai Tai, you drinking, you're on the beach and shit. This motherfucker starts wilding out like it's fucking hell, or he's just, he can't control himself. And I don't give a fuck about him getting any help or whatever the fuck it is. He's a menace. Keep his ass away from society. And then the other thing I'll say is properly label him as an abusive piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is a thugged out, violent person. Yeah. Label him as such. Because literally next week we may have the same kind of story going on. Like, how many times? Fuck it.
I want to see a hero take him out. That's what I want to see. I want what I want to see. We need Grant Gustafson. Just fly out to Hawaii. Just be on duty. All right. Mm-hmm. Just follow Ezra around. Just slap the fuck out of him when he gets out of line. Just saying. Do the right thing, Flash. There can only be one. Just saying.
Fucking Highlander Flash shit. God damn.
Great. All right, Blue. I know you're not feeling 100%. We appreciate you always being on here. Goddammit. But I heard you finally saw Vengeance. Right?
Yeah, man.
Oh, you saw Bobby Sparkles?
So yeah, the Batman dropped on HBO Max on Sunday night, Saturday. Was it Sunday night or Monday? It dropped on Monday. And yeah, man, I've been waiting for it because I knew it was gonna come out to HBO Max, and I didn't want to risk going to the theaters. And like everybody been saying, it was really good, so I was like, let me check it out for myself. And I have to say that movie was pretty goddamn good. Like, holy shit, I was really fucking surprised. But the one thing that really got me was the soundtrack, like the background music and the ambiance of the whole entire movie and Gotham itself. Like, man, like they fucking nailed it. I was like, damn, this is fucking cool. But what's really great about the movie, like the one thing I was like, damn, this is the Batman movie I've been looking for, was that we mainly saw Batman. We didn't get that much of Bruce Wayne or any of that. We saw the Batman and the Batman suit majority of that movie, and he was doing like cool detective shit and solving crime and punching people. It wasn't about like gadgets and like this and that. Like, I thought it was really, really good. And as sad as to say, Chris Patterson, he actually did a really good job as Batman.
Bobby Sparkles.
There you go.
He said his name right.
He pulled a Heath Ledger and gave a really good performance for Bruce Wayne and Batman. And I don't want to spoil it too much because I know some people still want to watch it, but we talk about this with like the Spider-Man movies, how like they're always killing Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben's always fucking dying. And in this, like they didn't show his parents dying. It was just referenced. Like they didn't show the parents being killed. They just said like, yeah, his parents had died. some other tragedy happened, and like this is very similar to what happened to the Waynes, and then we get a little bit of backstory of Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne, which I was like, wow, it's actually pretty fucking cool. But like, I don't know, this the whole lineup and setup was really good, and like the story with Catwoman, like, what's her name?
Zoe
Lenny Kravitz's
Kravitz?
daughter is Zoe Kravitz. Dude, I think she probably did the best performance of Catwoman, like better than Anne Hathaway or she. What's her name did a pretty good job. What's her name?
Michelle Pfeiffer. I was gonna say that'd be a hard one to beat.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer was really good. But this makes me think of the slumlord, like not prostitute, but like the down in like not the rich Selena Kyle, like the way that they have in like the animated series. This is more like the grew up in the streets Selena Kyle, and she's just roughing it here and there, and she's kind of just doing her own thing. But yeah, this movie was really good, and like it was the acting and all the people they have, like the cast was perfect. Like, damn, they did a really good job. The one problem I did have with the movie, the biggest problem I had in this entire movie was not Will Ferrell, the guy who played the Penguin, Colin Farrell. Because every time I knew it was Colin Farrell playing the Penguin, but he looked like that other guy. Like, I was like, why did they just cast that other dude? Like, he was basically him. It just kept taking me away from it. But
the guy that voiced Bing Bong.
What other guy?
The guy that voiced Bing Bong.
What's the guy's name? I mentioned this last time on a podcast. I have to look his name up again, but he was in oh god, I can't think of the movie. Was it Wonder Years? No, he wasn't Wonder Years. I showed it last week. I have to look it up again. But,
wait, the dad from Wonder Years, the one that looks like Fred
no, not the
Flintstone?
dad. No. Let me look it up real quick so I can share it.
What? I think you saw this.
Richard King, because that the guy.
Is it Richard King?
Sounds kind of goofy though.
Yes, Richard King.
Yeah, he's the voice of Bing Bong from Inside Out.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, he looks like he looks dead on Richard King, and it's like, why didn't they should just cast that dude? Because he was in Gotham. He played the mayor in Gotham too. So I mean, kind of made sense.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but overall, man, this movie was really good. I don't want to say it's my favorite Batman movie, but it's up there.
I really enjoyed this one too. We're trying to dance around spoilers here, and I get that, but one of the only misses that I felt was I didn't feel this Alfred at all, though. The connection with this Alfred just didn't quite hit for me. Probably Michael Caine is my favorite, from the Nolan trilogy. And then the only other thing, even though I love Zoe Kravitz, I think she actually did body Michelle Pfeiffer a little bit, even though I like Michelle as a close second. She felt like on screen she was maybe 4 feet 7 inches tall. And
she's a small person.
Yeah, but she she looked even smaller. So some of the things that she was doing, I was just like, whoa, you're really, 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 really tiny. But other than that, and every now and again, I was like,
Well, it's probably because you have the preference of, same with me, of like the pretty yoked Catwoman from the comics, where she's like pretty tall and like very yoked and physically capable.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Even in some of the cartoons and whatnot, I've seen a very athletic Catwoman. It's called for it in certain scenes, but physically, no fault to Zoe Kravitz at all, but physically there were things that were completely impossible that kind of took me out of it without giving too much away. But I thought her acting was incredible. I thought this guy embodied that whole vengeance thing, and Blue hit the nail on the head. This is a true detective story, and you can't forget about Riddler being reinvented. I love this fucking Riddler, and I didn't give a shit about that character prior.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking up the height of Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz. Yeah, I guess it would look weird on screen because he's 6'1" and she's like 5'2".
Yeah,
so that's like almost a foot.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't even believe she's really 5'2". I think that's what they I think with high heels on.
She's in heels or boots almost the entire movie. So.
Then I read somewhere else she's 5'1". So yeah, you're probably right. might be which is
She looks
fine.
small
small.
person.
You know,
She's small.
Well, the one thing that tripped me out was the guy playing Carmel Falcone.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh yeah,
I
that
was
was a trip for
actually really
me.
surprised with his. I
Mhm.
mean, because first every time I see that guy, it's Johnny Torturo. I think
John
that's the actor's name
Turturro.
is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the guy from from the Transformers movies, and that's all I could think of him. But it's that like goofy like spy wannabe guy type of deal. But
Dude, you don't
yeah, he
remember
looked
him
pretty
from
good.
Do the Right? You don't remember him as one of the
Do the
brothers
Right
from
Thing,
Do the
yeah.
Right Thing?
It's been too long. I have to go back and watch it
He's in
again.
Do the Right Things. He's in a lot of the Coen Brothers stuff.
Yeah.
He does a lot of that kind of stuff.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Yeah, there's
a great
that,
movie,
and what was it? He's in The Big Lebowski. I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
that shit was pretty awesome. But yeah, I was surprised that he was in it because he was pretty cold blooded in this shit. Um, I have a question for the two of you because I've seen it as well. Do you feel as if this is the closest to an R-rated Batman we're gonna get?
Well, I'll let Blue go
Oh.
first.
I don't think so. Just because I mean, Batman doesn't really kill, so there's not gonna be
He doesn't, but his
much
villains do.
blood. Yeah, I mean, we saw freaking the Joker push a pencil through somebody's head in the Nolan one. So I don't know. I think
there's
I'm
no
not sure
blood, though.
Batman needs an R rating. Yeah,
So here's my take, though. I feel like this was almost an R. I think there was a couple of scenes that got a little bit cut out. I'm thinking of one specifically with the Riddler where the camera focus
Yeah,
probably
probably
probably takes it from an R to a PG-13. However, the Batman versus Superman Ultimate Edition was an R, and then Zack Snyder Justice League one was an R as well. And so I feel like we've gotten, with the absence of a whole like horror show amount of blood, we've gotten R-rated Batman kind of roundabout a couple of times.
Yeah, I was gonna say because those are ensemble films with the Zack Snyder stuff. This is solo Batman with his Rogues Gallery, with them doing some pretty like graphic novel type shit where they push the boundaries. I feel like with literally two edits where they blurred it out, it would be an R-rated film
Agreed.
easily.
Agreed. And the other thing is, real quick, this one you could tell they're doing the opposite. They're not trying to sell fucking toys and shit like directly. This is something where if you take your 5 or 6 year old, it not only is it long, but it's dark, and there's gonna be times when they may want to fucking close their eyes.
yeah.
good because hashtag fuck them kids. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hence why I was saying this is pretty close to R-rated film because like it skates the line pretty close a few times.
Yep.
So
I love a lot of the Easter eggs they actually had in this. Like there's a scene with when he drives the Batmobile for the first time, or the fucking Bat muscle. That was not a fucking Batmobile. That was a fucking beast. But if you listen to the soundtrack, it starts to play the Batman the Animated Series music, and I'm like, wait, hold up. I actually, this is what's so great about watching it at home. I was able to rewind it. So if I saw this in the theater, I'd be like, oh shit, what was that? Okay, that sounded like a Batman movie, but no, maybe not. I sat there, rewound it, and I was like, oh shit, that's it. Like it's sampled from it, but it's not like the complete intro to the Batman the Animated Series. Like it's like the ting and tang are there. Yeah. But like if you know that series, you're like, hold up, that's the Batman animated series. But like there's other little things that's really cool.
So
and
you
then
can
there's
actually, I was gonna say you can actually hear numerous. There's actually the Burton theme is in there too, just a little bit. Just like you said, they tease you with it, then they pull it back, and they give you like their own original thing. There's a lot of Nirvana in this.
Oh yeah.
Well, one other quick thing too, like once I saw Birds of Prey, I shit all over it because it was the worst depiction of Batman I've ever fucking not Batman.
I'm all Batman, ain't it?
Of Gotham. This was the polar opposite. This is the absolute best Gotham I've ever seen. Gotham is a goddamn character. It's basically New York on nightmare mode,
or Chicago, or Chi-Town,
or a little bit of Chicago, fine. But it's big American city, nightmare mode. You're afraid to go out in the dark or on the subways or in the Narrows or whatever. it feels alive. The city feels like it's dangerous as fuck, and you don't know what the fuck is going to happen in the shadows around the next corner. I love the way Reeves made the city feel alive.
Yeah,
I did too. That was a good
chat.
one.
B-Boy Frost had said that the fact that
shit.
it referenced at least 5 different Batman stories from comics was dope to him.
Mhm.
And then Clay said, I like how Bruce Wayne put all of his job points into being Batman and 0 into being Bruce Wayne persona, which I agree.
Yeah.
Like, I like the whole fact that he was Batman the whole time.
You got to min max.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he almost maxed out because, like, literally, Bruce Wayne's in like maybe 2 scenes. He's Batman almost the whole fucking time, and it was like, if he was Bruce Wayne in like some ancillary scene, like he's not talking, he's like changing, like literally changing outfits.
And here's the other thing too: you rarely see this. Batman fucks up multiple times.
Yeah, he does, and there's a reason because they pound it into your fucking face numerous times that it's his second year doing this. So he's not seasoned. He's not, and they want to make sure you going in before shit pops off that he's been around for a short period of time. The streets know him, but they're not necessarily completely afraid because when they see him, like I said a few weeks ago, they're like, "This is the guy we're supposed to be afraid of." It's like he's building on his legend, and when he does certain things, he fucks up. Other times, he completely owns it. So
and Gotham PD is still getting used to him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's be honest though. Even like a older Batman, a seasoned Batman, fucks up a lot too. People pretend that like Batman, even with prep time, like wins all the time. Blah blah. He does, but does he? Because how many times has he like not killed somebody, or throw him in some shitty ass jail they get out of, and that they go off on some crazy killing spree? So let's like recognize that Batman, through his non-violence, causes a lot of violence, with other people instead of just like finishing the job. So,
and then he also creates more villains too. So
Yes.
that's kind of a thing as well.
Good movie all the way around.
Oh, yeah, and then like was it after credit scene where we got to
I
see
think there was.
the Riddler talking to a cellmate, and
That's a little too spoilery.
nah, he just talked to a cellmate. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, all right.
The cellmate kind of does give him his catchphrase, which I think was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah,
Yeah.
I caught that.
But
So right on.
But yeah,
glad you dug
I really enjoyed it. It's just overall. I wouldn't say for rating. I'm gonna give it a 9.5. Not a perfect 10 because whenever he would walk as Batman, he always walked slow, and like that's when like you can hear his footsteps, and that was like kind of cheesy for me.
Really, for me, I was
Yeah.
telling. For me, those footsteps was telling the street thugs that something's coming. Now that you see me, this ass whooping's coming, and they're just like, "Are we supposed to be afraid of it? Are you?" And they kind of smirk or kind of like giggle. Then they get their asses handed to them. So I think that was some pretty good direction by Reeves, in my opinion.
There you go. Good shit. All right.
all right. So we have there was a question that got asked in like the very beginning of the podcast, and it's something I don't think is on the list. I didn't see it, at least. I would just skim through the list.
No,
but
it's not.
the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing.
Jesus.
Have y'all paid attention to that defamation
A little bit.
lawsuit at all?
Set it up, Kronos.
Holy Jesus! I'm just saying, we've been talking about this probably for years about how Amber Heard's a piece of shit. Okay, because of what she did to Johnny Depp's career and how he likely didn't do very much wrong, if anything at all, in their relationship. And now everything's kind of like all their dirty laundry is getting aired to the public in this defamation trial. And man, it is looking terrible for her. Terrible for her.
Before you go on, I don't know if Prodigy knows this, but she did what you've been waiting for. She shat on his carpet.
Shut the fuck
She
up.
shat on his bed. What are you talking about? In his bed.
Well, I mean,
Was she wearing
she
high
shat
heels?
in his bed.
Yeah.
I mean, she's terrible. She's terrible.
Yeah.
She's terrible.
She's
Awful
probably
person.
naked, but she shat. She basically shat. I mean, your bed, carpet, whatever. But she still shat. Just
Yeah, and there's like
I don't know if she'd do it at him, but
there's recordings. There's first-hand testimonies from like bodyguards and stuff, and it's just like the recordings are pretty damning of like her basically trying to justify her throwing things at him and him trying to get away, and like I guess he like lost part of his finger because she threw like a glass at him or something like that, and it's just like
she severed part of it. Have you seen the picture where his part of his finger is like severed? Oh my god!
Yeah,
holy shit, it's terrible looking.
And so this chick who pretty much destroyed his career, she's still getting work. Like even when she made all these allegations against him, she was still getting roles for Aquaman and other roles, and she suffered no repercussions until now. And even now, I don't know if she'll have any repercussions at all. But yeah, it's pretty messed up that she got to go out there and just like put him on blast. And there's recordings of like everything that she did, or like saying, "Oh, well, I was on Ambien, I don't remember," blah blah blah. And it's like, bruh.
Not only was she in Aquaman, that movie made $1 billion. She was in Zack Snyder Justice League. She's in Aquaman too. That's finished filming. She's in the sequel.
Yeah.
So she's a bona fide comic book star. Basically, she's not the main star, but she's like the co-lead. And then the other thing I want to really quickly say. Don't forget, there were millions of people. Everybody's a little quiet now, but there were millions of people that believed her bullshit and automatically assumed that Johnny Depp was a piece of shit, an abuser, and all this other stuff simply because she was a woman and making those allegations. Remember, this was during the height of Me Too that this was going on, and everybody was just like, well, he must be an abuser like Weinstein or whatever. No. Johnny Depp didn't do none of that shit. And he's had a whole bunch of Hollywood celebrities, relationships and marriages and all that other stuff. But we've never heard any type of drama in terms of abusiveness from Johnny Depp, and people owe him an apology. Justice for Johnny.
I don't know which station. I think this is on Apple TV, but she's on Paramount Plus, The Stand. Stephen King's The Stand, Amber Heard's in that. She's in at least 7 episodes.
Yeah.
So, and that's a pretty high-profile series. So,
dude, she should feel all the repercussions. And I don't have any sympathy for her. She belongs in jail. Either abusers are pieces of shit that we are against, or not. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it
sucks.
And
the fact that the public won't get behind this as much as they would if it was Johnny or someone else, then people are full of shit.
Yeah, of course. You should have been known that. But I think it sucks because, like, Fantastic Beasts, the whole Dumbledore, I don't know the full tag, but Johnny Depp was supposed to be in that, and he lost the role because of this whole scandal. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Mads Mikkelsen. He's a great actor. But Johnny Depp, he's in 2 of those films. The third one he's not in because of this situation. Even though he got paid, he still got fired.
Does Mads like play his character?
Yeah, Mads plays his character. He took over. Yeah. He kind of begrudgingly did it. I guess him and Johnny talked because he kind of didn't want to do it without his blessing, but he took it on anyway. He wanted to do the best he could in his honor, but still he lost out in that role. Disney still paid him. They still paid Johnny Depp.
No,
even though he got fired.
Hold on. I thought Harry Potter's under Warner, right?
Was it Warner? I thought it was
Warner.
Disney.
It's definitely it's not Disney.
Warner. Okay. Well, Johnny Depp got paid regardless, but he got fired from the film. So they paid, and they paid his full salary. He didn't get a percentage. He got the full thing.
Well, that's not his full salary then. If he didn't get a percentage, I mean, honestly, like if you get a percentage of a movie, that could eclipse your fucking salary.
No. Like a percent. I'm sorry. He didn't get a percentage of what he would have made, not the percentage from box office gross.
I don't think he got the percentages of the box office growth though, which is normal. Yeah, which is normal for if you lead a role in a movie, like if you're the actual like one of the stars.
Yeah. And if you're a producer, I don't know if he has producing credits, but
Yeah, dude. Poor guy, man. Poor guy. Fuck. So we'll see. And the other thing, it doesn't. I haven't heard any real buzz about the Dumbledore one at all. It doesn't seem like people give a shit.
It kind of flopped. That's what I heard. So it didn't get very good reviews, but I mean the last 2 or 3 have been pretty good. So yeah. But also I think there's pushback because they finally come out that Dumbledore is gay, but everybody knew that shit anyway. So
They
kind
should.
of like
Was Dumbledore the old wizard, the Gandalf looking dude?
Yeah. So I don't know, Curtis. There was pushback. Y'all remember The Last of Us Part 2?
Mm-hmm.
And there was huge pushback about Ellie being gay. And apparently, even though people say they love the series, it was very, very, very apparent that she was gay if you played the DLC from the first game.
Yes.
And people freaked out in Part 2, saying that basically that she shouldn't be gay. She was never gay. When did this happen? And they were just review bombing, talking a bunch of shit about Neil Druckmann that he couldn't write and all this stuff. But then Last of Us Part 2 wins Game of the Year. Neil Druckmann wins like a shit ton of awards. So sometimes people don't pay attention when it comes to stuff like, Dumbledore being gay or whatnot. So
maybe not. Yeah.
It's hilarious to me when like these incel dudes come out against like these female gay, characters as if like they're not jacking off to like lesbian porn. Like,
right?
Like, you're not fooling anybody here. Like, what are you talking about?
The same thing with not the same thing, but a similar situation with Hunger Games. The character Rue being black, and all these racist kids came out, were talking so much trash, and the author of the book posted the passage of the book in Hunger Games that clearly states that this little girl is like of dark skin, of like dark brown skin. And so like all these kids were still freaking out. Like some people were saying they're crying when they saw the film. They didn't believe that she was black. I was like, are you kidding me?
I'll tell you what messed me up. Like honestly, what messed me up the most from like, reading a book and then watching a movie was Cho Chang in Harry Potter, only because she had like a super thick Irish accent, and I was like, oh, okay, like, like that accent is that's pretty thick. All right, I didn't expect that.
I mean, well, remember this too. Look, Jason Momoa used his star power and became Aquaman, and that shit fucking worked. He's got a sequel coming out and everything, but none of us would look at the comic version of Aquaman and think Jason Momoa first.
Nope.
So, same with Nick Fury. You know what I mean? But I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes people get over emotional over a gender change or a race change or whatever the fuck.
Well,
these are all fictional characters.
They'll lay the woke blanket on it. You go woke.
Oh yes.
If you go woke, you go broke. It's just like the stupid thing. It's like
they say that all the time. All the time.
Yeah, and it's just like it doesn't really happen. What they're trying to do is just capture a larger audience, which is fine, because there's more than white people that exist on the planet. There's actually white people are kind of like they're not the majority on the planet. So in America, they're temporarily the majority, but it's like that's going away really soon. So yeah, it makes sense that they're trying to show different genders and ethnic groups like in these movies, because it's like once you have white people in general as a minority, like you're gonna need to bring in like these other ethnic groups to like have them see people like them to come watch your movies. So and if you're getting mad, if you're a white person, you're listening to this and you're getting mad that there's more black and brown and other genders as characters, just think about those same ethnic groups seeing just white people all the time. And now you're getting a slight percentage increase on the landscape of America, if not the world, and you're getting mad, but you never even consider that throughout other minorities' entire lives that to deal with like seeing only white people, like the vast majority of white people as like stars. So suck it up and enjoy it like the rest of us have. I mean, we didn't have to. This is the thing, is like when we grew up, it wasn't that we were dealing with it. We enjoyed it. Like they were good actors. Just as long as they act well and the stories are well written, just admit it. If they're shit, then it's shit. But don't sit there and say just because like the character is black or gay or whatever that it sucks. You know, it should be like me just blanket saying that, oh, it's a white guy playing this, so it has to suck because he's white. It's just that's ridiculous as well. So just as long as it's real wit and just give it a fucking chance.
My biggest example, and I've used this a million times, Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite franchises of all time. That was a super white franchise. And I still like Peter Jackson, and it worked really, really well on just a human fucking level. You know what I mean? And almost everybody who was a real geek or fantasy nerd or whatever appreciated and loved that shit. You know? So just appreciate the story for what the fuck it is, like Chrono said. And then the other thing is, you know, from what was it, late 1960s, we had Star Trek that was having diversity on air.
Oh, and multicultural.
And it's still motherfuckers that swear that there are Star Trek fans are getting mad over Star Trek Discovery and Picard. And what was the other one that I'm watching? There's another Star Trek show.
Oh, Lower Decks?
Yeah, but they're all just saying, oh, they're going woke now. Motherfucker, Star Trek likely invented woke if you consider woke like even a thing. Much. Like, you're not a Star Trek fan if you think that these new shows are woke. Like, you're so fucking stupid that you don't even realize it. You were never a Star Trek fan. You never watched it from the inception of Star Trek. You haven't.
Yeah. Deep Space Nine, Enterprise. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so dumb. It's just blatant. Well, to me, it's racism that people don't even realize that they have, and sexism. It's just like, dude, just admit it that it's there and just like rectify it. Don't try to deny it. Just fucking rectify. You can fix it. You got time.
Even Billy D and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, man. I mean, you can't tell me that Billy D didn't bring it. He fucking brought it. And everybody loves Princess Leia from the original trilogy. Like, come on. It's just silly. It really is fucking silly. And it's disturbing how triggered people get over some shit. And here's the other thing too.
Usually young people. It's so weird.
Here's the other thing too. Nobody has a gun to your head. You don't have to like every new show or movie that comes out. If something, it doesn't interest you for whatever stupid ass reason, don't watch it. But you really don't have to complain about anything, especially on fictional TV shows or movies.
Well, especially like when you don't like consume it. So like, I've complained about, certain characters on the show like multiple times, but I have very specific issues with it. Like when I talked about not Captain America. Was it Mrs. America?
America Chavez.
Yeah. I have very specific issues with her as like a character because she used to be a fucking badass in the Ultimates, and then all of a sudden she went to being some college kid, like doing some stupid shit, and like she had a girlfriend in the beginning of the comic, and then like broke up. They introduced the girlfriend in the beginning of the comic, and halfway through the comic they broke up. I was like, okay, cool, she's gay, but now she's broken up. It's like, why did you even write this story in here? Like, you try to get me invested in this shit, and they break you up within like a couple of pages. So I was just like, this is terribly written, and it wasn't against. I wasn't against like the character being gay, but it's like they're gonna be gay and you're gonna have like a relationship. Can you like have the reader invested in it like a little bit and like make the character like not one dimensional? She was literally fighting. I think it was literally white privilege or the patriarchy. It was like one or the other, and I was just like, you can't make it that fucking obvious. Like,
how do you punch that? Like,
yeah, it was just terrible. Like, oh.
Yeah.
And like so now, speaking of this woke bullshit, since I guess we're on this topic now, we'll go into Thor: Love and Thunder. So
here we go.
The trailer dropped, and I'm watching the trailer. It's a pretty good trailer, actually. I liked it. I'm liking the direction they're going with it. And at the end, Jane Foster is shown as Thor, and I was like, I can guarantee you, incels are going to come out up in arms with Jane Foster. Sure enough, incels came out up in arms over Jane Foster. Talking about how, she's a terrible character. She's not going for Thor. It's a terrible comic. It's a terrible comic run. You didn't read the fucking comics. I can already tell because it wasn't a terrible comic run and it didn't have bad numbers. So the comic book was actually really unique with the Thor character because she had like some unique Thor issues with becoming Thor. That actually the comic book came out for a while, so I'll just fucking spoil it for you. Jane Foster has cancer, okay? And so she ends up becoming Thor, and when she becomes Thor, she becomes like the actual, goddess, Thor, but then when she goes back to being a human, she ends up back to the state to when she first picked up the hammer. But in between those times, she's trying not to die from fucking cancer. So she's going through chemotherapy so she doesn't die. But then something will happen in the universe, and she got to pick up the hammer again, and she got to go save the universe, and she comes back to like dying again, and she's trying to get fixed by both like earthly means and magical means. But every time she picks up the hammer, she gets set back to zero with cancer. So I thought that was like a really cool take on Thor, because there was like consequences to like actually picking up the fucking hammer. But these incels don't want to like really recognize that it was cool. And also she's not in really, she's sort of Thor now, but she's really Valkyrie. So she has like a totally cool like new weapon thing now that she can use. But they just see Lady Thor. At the same time, they don't complain about Beta Ray Bill or the other hundreds of other fucking Thors that are out there. But they just happen to be dudes.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I did read that comic. I've been really vocal. It just wasn't for me. And I'll start with the fact that I'm not a big Odinson Thor fan.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I'm not the biggest Thor guy in the world. I didn't completely shit on it. It wasn't the worst comic run I've ever read or anything close to that. It was okay. I did have a bit of a problem, again, with the whole naming thing, in terms of Odin's son Thor no longer being known as Thor. It just irked me from a nomenclature standpoint. But putting all of that aside, trailer looks okay in terms of Love and Thunder. We'll see what it is. I will say this, and I've been really clear on this, so I'm repeating what I said back in 2018, 2019. To me, the very best fucking Thor, and I think to a lot of people, was Ragnarok. That did not have Jane Foster, Natalie Portman in it at all. I didn't really miss her. Like, I thought the Ragnarok was vastly superior to the first two Thor movies. And so I was like, okay, she's back, but it wasn't something I was clamoring for. I thought that Thor Ragnarok proved that just him on his own, it was pretty badass.
Well, I just hope that it can progress or at least expand the MCU, because there are definitely like other things that the MCU can do, and you can't just keep with the same core characters with the original MCU. Like you have to expand, because some of them are retired.
Yeah,
and I don't see Thor retiring anytime soon. I see there could be a really cool storyline with Jane Foster as Thor, but I don't think they're going to go the comic book route. I think that this Jane Foster Thor is probably like an MCU only thing, because in the comics, like Thor becomes unworthy, and that clearly is not happening in the MCU. So, and he loses an arm. There's like a whole thing, and they're not doing that in this one. So,
yeah. Oh, one other quick. I'm sorry. Hold on, one sec. I do love Thor Odin's son with the Guardians. I thought that fucking rocked in Infinity War. That was some of my favorite shit with him and Rocket and Peter and all of that. So to see that again had me the most hype, because I was like, oh, Peter Quill's just going to be a fucking asshole to Thor and whatnot. So I like that aspect of things. I'm curious about that, and I'd love to even see Thor in Guardians 3.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much everything. Well, except for what kind of Prodigy said. I don't see an issue with Jane coming back. I mean, we kind of got her back in Endgame, but now she's back with a reconstructed Mjolnir, because when you see it, there's cracks in the hammer, and we'll see if she has cancer. I mean, they may wove it in, maybe not. It looks like they kind of are leaving out like more. I feel like there's more characters in this movie, and people have been pointing out like, look, there's certain shots where it looks like there's people missing.
They're missing Gore, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we might see him. We might see Adam Warlock. Maybe I know he's going to be in Guardians 3, but we may see him in this and him transfer over. We didn't see Gamora, so we might get a whole storyline where the search for Gamora is involved with this. I mean, it says Love and Thunder, so Peter Quill the love of his life is Gamora, and then um, Thor and Jane. So, or that's another. So there's could be two parallel storylines going along where they two have to help each other. So
Wait
you
a
never know.
wait a minute. Will that sexy ass Kat Denning be back? If she's back, they're gonna get my money.
She's probably. I mean, she was in WandaVision, so
I do remember her.
maybe. So we'll see if she comes back. I mean, I feel like there's a bunch more characters that are kind of missing to flesh out the rest of this. This is a summer film, so this might be really huge. I expect a probably bigger um, trailer Memorial Day weekend. We'll probably see something huge around then.
Even
So,
around Doctor Strange.
oh, that no, I think we'll see just the teaser with
Hmm.
Doctor Strange because that's only in 2 weeks. You give it a
Really?
month. It's like 2 weeks. You give it a month. Come Memorial Day weekend, we'll probably see a huge more action packed and more story driven Thor trailer. But this one's piqued my interest. I mean, I planned on seeing it anyway. I know a lot of people were pissed about Jane being Thor, and they're like, well, this is too early. This is a 2014 storyline. I'm like, so what? There's been a bunch of stuff that was relatively new that's been
Yeah, I mean,
translated to the MCU.
Doctor Strange has America Chavez.
Yeah,
That's
and she's relatively new.
and she's
Um,
Well, she's not.
so
She's not really new, but yeah.
what?
was it relatively she's not like a 30, 40-year-old.
Yeah, I
Um,
thought she was within a decade or so, right?
I
yeah,
it might have been longer than that. I could be wrong, but yeah. If
same with Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel's relative. She's at least 10 to 15,
Yeah.
which in terms of the original
I
MCU
guess
characters.
2011, so just over 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
that's
so
relatively.
relatively new. Yeah, compared, and same with Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. She's relatively new. She's more than 10 years. I think she's like 12 or 13,
Hmm.
roughly. So she's relatively new. We're gonna see Ironheart in Wakanda Forever. She's getting her own Disney Plus series. So these are relatively new characters that are gonna be in the MCU. So I
Yeah,
don't see a real big issue.
the only issue I would have in terms of, and we'll see. I mean, we don't have a trailer for Wakanda Forever, but it would have been nice to see a little bit of actual Robert Downey Jr. doing cameos, some type of torch passing or something, because from what I've read, I mean, that's a huge influence over
Oh
Riri.
yeah. I mean,
So
the same with Miss Marvel. I mean, I
yeah,
doubt we're gonna see Carol Danvers in the series. We might,
but I
but I
mean,
doubt it.
in terms of if Robert Downey Jr. truly is, who knows if it's true or not, if he's truly done, then that would be a little weird in terms of her being so inspired by Tony. And if you don't see Tony like doing anything, but
So
who knows?
we'll
Who
see. Yeah,
knows how they'll write
I
it?
wouldn't be surprised if it's like a little secret thing they've kept on the low, and he shows up when she was really young, and she got to meet him before he died. And like that would be a real big gotcha kind of moment in the
Mm-hmm.
film, I think. But we don't know. We haven't seen anything. We know they just barely, uh, stopped filming. They stopped harassing Ryan Coogler. Uh, I'm pretty sure he's back in the Bay or whatever.
Trying to take out
So.
his own money.
Yeah, so I mean they're in post production now, so we'll see.
When does that She-Hulk drop? I thought that was this year too.
It's sometime this year, but I didn't see a release date. I've seen a trailer. There's a trailer earlier this year, but
Hmm.
Was there?
I think
I
it's
didn't see it.
there's you didn't see the trailer. It's weird because they show Hulk and he looks incomplete, and they
Mhm.
show her breaking the fourth wall, talking to the camera, talking about you don't want to see me angry and shit like that.
Okay,
So
I'll have to check it out.
yeah, it's really quick. It's like maybe 45-second trailer, but
So like a teaser almost.
yeah, it's definitely a teaser because it looked unfinished, but they showed it. I want to say Super Bowl or around the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So,
Good shit. Good shit.
but yeah, as far as Love and Thunder, I plan on seeing it. So
Which one are you more hyped for that one than you are Doctor Strange, or about equal?
I'm more hyped for Doctor Strange than Love and Thunder.
Okay.
Because Doctor Strange could give us anything at this moment. We already know it looks like they teased Professor X in the film. We could see all kinds of alternatives. There's already rumors that Tom Cruise as Iron Man might show up in it. So all kinds of shit could be in this film. So I'm excited to see whatever kind of surprises they're going to throw at us in that film.
Good shit. Let's take a break on some serious and really good news. Kronos, the floor is yours on Rescue. I don't want to mess it up. Rescue
Residents.
Residents. That's it. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So for anybody that has donated to Rescue Residents, first of all, thank you very much, Steve. It's your birthday. You were like one of our largest donations, so thank you very much. We definitely appreciate that. There's a couple of updates with that. I think last week I already talked about how the ambulance is good to go. We have to get it over to an actual diesel mechanic to make sure that everything mechanically is fine, which hopefully it should be. Hopefully it's not another gigantic bill, but you never know with this ambulance. So we will see. But the major news is that we officially have our 501c3 status. So if you donated to us, you would definitely be able to use that to write off on your taxes. So if you go to rescueresidents.org and look at the very bottom, it has the EIN number for our organization, and that you can use that and put in like your actual how much you donated to us and our EIN, and you'll be good to go. And I think we're actually talking about making like actual certificates to like mail out to everybody that donated, so you will know how much you donated and the actual EIN number and everything will be in there. So it'll be all official. So writing it off on your taxes is definitely a benefit towards donations, which is cool. A couple other things. What else is going on with Rescue Residents right now? Not me, but definitely more Papa Bear and Enrique. They have been very active on TikTok recently. I was trying to get on the TikTok thing recently. I was going to start doing it on the day that I got super fucking sick. So yeah, I gave some suggestions for some ideas for a TikTok, thing, but I got sick and I'm still not 100% yet, but I think I could probably start picking it up, like doing some short videos. Hopefully recently. We've been doing one every day for the past, I think, more than a week now. It might have been closing on 2 weeks now.
Nice.
So yeah, we're definitely making progress, and we're trying to get more and more official. If you go on GuideStar, which is like a business thing to see how like legit nonprofits are, we're on there. We're silver rank right now because we're actually very transparent. So we're trying to get to, I think they have a platinum status. We're trying to get to that status as far as how transparent we are. Papa Bear is putting out videos and blogs every week to show exactly where the money's going, because we don't want to be one of those shitty ass nonprofits where you give us money and you have no idea where the money goes. And also another big update was that there was a Patreon that went into our highest tier, which is the Mature Phoenix tier, which is $500 a month.
Hell yeah.
I was like, whoa. So yeah, that was definitely a big surprise. That's going to help us out for flying to Ohio to pick up the ambulance and drive back, and also with whatever maintenance needs to be done for the engine and mechanicals on the ambulance. So all your donations that you give to us, it doesn't matter if it's like $1 to whatever, it makes a difference, and we're transparent enough to like show you exactly where the money's going. So it's not going towards bullshit. It's going towards actually helping someone. This first vehicle is going to be the demo vehicle, but after that, all the other donations are going towards helping somebody out directly. And the reason why the first like round of donations are going towards a demo vehicle is because we need to work some of the kinks out and show like what we can do to like make an RV out of an ambulance. So our plan is to take this former ambulance new RV to like car shows, hopefully SEMA, stuff like that, and like and also places that do homeless outreach programs, and like show like this is what we're trying to do for veterans that are experiencing homelessness, and we're trying to build something like this for them to help them out of the situation. So yeah, it's been pretty great so far, and we're just constantly making strides towards getting everything up and running.
Worthy cause. I'm glad people are noticing. I'm glad people are donating. One more time, the place where they can do that donation.
If you go to rescueresidents.org, It has all the donation things in there. I think at the top right-hand corner it says like take action or something like that, and it gives you like PayPal and a bunch of other like links in there that you can do. Also, Patreon's on there as well if you want to just donate every month. And I think there's 6 tiers on there right now, and it gives you access to like Discord and a bunch of other things. And we're active on Discord. So the other day, somebody was asking about, what was the question they asked? They were concerned about if we are giving these RVs to veterans that don't have a job, and we give it to them, like what happens when to register the vehicle and other costs that occur for the vehicle. And just to answer the question in public, there are a thing called a VASH housing voucher, and it's for the VA. I think it's subsidized housing. So if you happen to be a veteran experiencing homelessness, you get a VASH housing voucher. And our plan is to use that VASH housing voucher directly from the VA. They'll give that voucher to us, and then we'll use that voucher to supplement any of those maintenance costs for the person that's getting the RV. So if they need gasoline, if they need insurance, if they need, registration, all that stuff, it'll be covered for a while up until they get like a new job in a new location or just a job in general until they get on their feet. Because we don't want to like saddle them with a bunch of fees and stuff by getting a vehicle. So I don't know if y'all knew this, but if you win a vehicle, you usually have to pay for registration and like all this other crap. And so we don't want to like make somebody broke by getting something that was essentially like not really free, but it's something that is of no cost really up front to them. So we're trying to avoid that, and we have plans around that. So we're trying to make a very comprehensive path forward for those veterans that are experiencing homelessness to make sure that we're not going to immediately saddle them with debt while they're trying to improve their lives. So that's the goal.
Dude, that's fucking awesome, man. That's one of the greatest things ever. Proud of you. Donate, please, man. That's awesome. And we want to see more pictures too.
Yeah, we definitely have a bunch of like pictures and videos. Right, it's not a whole lot right now because Matt from Pre-Recorded Live, he actually has the vehicle, so it's at his dad's farm, and he has a picture of like him holding up a sign like saying we have like $2,000 to go to get it back to California. And he's been like helping us out immensely with, first of all, coordinating picking up the ambulance, getting it over to the first round of maintenances. He picked it up recently, and he's going to help us get it over to diesel mechanics. So he's been calling a bunch of diesel mechanics because I guess the first one fell through, and he's been like working with us to like get a solid diesel mechanic to like look at this vehicle. And he actually found one that's perfect. So he's a veteran, and he works on diesel vehicles, and he works on doing RV conversions. So that's like the trifecta for us, where it's like this is basically all we need. So this should work out immensely for our organization. So we're running full speed ahead.
Hell yeah, man. Good shit. All right. Old Ninja, jump back on in here. Where you want to take us?
Was there something that was? Oh no, I guess it wasn't on here.
All right. Well, you know what everybody.
There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you know what everybody wants to talk about. What is this? I blame you, Old Ninja. What is going on in Dick Fight Island? What the fuck?
Wait, why would you blame me for this? I don't even know what this is. Is this some anime that you're watching?
I've never seen such anime. I don't know.
I posted that. Actually, it's a manga apparently, and I was scrolling through Twitter one day, like as I was working. I was like looked, and I was like trending is Dick Fight Island. I was like, damn, that sounds like the what was that anime with the girls and the bikinis and shit that were fighting on the water? Kijo. They're like butt and titty fighting.
Yeah,
seems like that. But I was like, I do not want to know more. So but it was trending on Twitter. I was like, damn.
So Kate from But Why Though podcast, she's a huge she's over in Texas and whatnot. She's a huge Yahweh fangirl.
Well, Yahweh's a god, isn't it?
Wait, which
or a demon?
Wait, Yahweh? How do you pronounce it?
I know it can't be Yahweh. If it's Yahweh, that's a weird coincidence. I'm just saying.
It's Yao something. Anyway, my weeb credentials are gone. But she was posting some shit about the fact that she read and loved it like before it was cool and popular on Twitter, and I was like, "What the fuck are you reading?" But I guess apparently it is a real legit thing. It's a huge manga, and it's dude on dude anime action. I guess.
This is so I'm looking at this on Twitter, and it's like, what? These guys are wearing they're wearing armor, but it's like kind of scantily armor, and they have dick armor. So their dick armor is like a weapon. Some of these have swords at the end, but they have one dude has his chest exposed, and they're all curved up, and one dude has like a snake. What is this? It's like a snake fucking dick armor, and there's a chick. So she has dick armor, but it's like a whip. So she has this huge like dong looking
Oh, real quick,
thing, but
just
it's
pause
a
for a second.
whip.
Hold on.
Pronouncing it?
Oh, that's not a chick.
Hold on.
Never mind.
Yaoi.
Yaoi
Yao.
is how to pronounce it.
Yeah, okay.
I had to figure that shit out. Look it up.
It's important. So I'm sorry, you got the snake dick.
Yeah, the snake dick, the whip dick. So this looks like a female, but it's a male, and this character Tarring.
Wait, I'm sorry. So this is Fuda approved. So
I don't know. You'd have to fucking. I don't know what this is. I'm still processing what I'm looking at. So this guy, these are like character posters. This dude's doing the Iago, how do you pronounce it? Diago face, where you're sticking out the tongue and fucking drooling on your. Yeah, this dude has this face, but he has like a dick whip. It's like armor with the whip on his dick. And another person posted the actual picture of the anime.
Wait,
Or
there's
not
an
the I'm sorry,
anime?
the manga.
Oh.
There's a picture of the manga. It looks like gay anime, but it's hard to tell because it looked like they fight with these dick armor things. I don't know what's going on here. Dick fight
Papa Bear
island.
said, "Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay nay."
Damn, this is wild.
Dude,
I don't know
are
what
they
this
at least
is.
on an island though? If
I don't. Most of what I'm looking at on Twitter, just looking at the hashtag, they're showing the actual anime. It doesn't even look like an anime. It looks like a book, like a.
It's a manga. Goddamn, old ninja.
It doesn't look
He's
like
old.
it from this. If you saw this image, this does not look anything like a manga. This looks like some fucking. Like
Maybe they're about to do an anime based on the manga,
I don't know.
and like there's a trailer or a teaser for the manga.
Oh, they sell this at at Barnes and Noble.
Shut the fuck up! Really?
There's a picture of LGBTQIA plus manga, and Dick Fight Island is at the very top of this show.
Yeah, they know what's up. They need to get the numbers up.
Yep.
Dang.
Dude, I want you to know the Barnes and Nobles over here in Chula, they have rows and rows of nothing but manga. Like it's so fucking popular. Like
yeah,
they have maybe one row dedicated for comics or really trade paperbacks, and then everything else is manga, and those aisles are packed. Like it's some serious shit. Like
well, it's like the comic shop here in the Dro. They I remember when I first started going there, like the manga section was like it was pretty small, but now it's like it's pretty big. Like it's like they had to it's probably at least grown sixfold.
Yeah.
Since I've gone to their shop, and it's just like wow, and obviously it's selling. So, and good for them, and good for all those manga artists and writers.
Absolutely. Well, and here's the other really cool thing, not that it's like a tit for tat thing, but you can read the manga and then watch the anime, you know what I mean, a little bit later. Like it's pretty much the same story, same characters, and following very, almost page for page arcs. So it's really easy to follow. Whereas with a lot of Marvel DC stuff, you got New Birth and all new, all different, and New 52, and it's a little bit more challenging to watch without a guide or someone helping you, like straight from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, while the MCU's been good, it'd have been way better if they just stuck to some of the comic material.
Yeah.
Like, if Secret Wars alone, like the lead up to Secret Wars and like all that shit, that could have lasted 10 years easily.
Yep.
And I honestly, I think it's a way better storyline than anything that the MCU's put out so far.
Yeah. Well, and here's my other thing though. The thing that got me into comics, as I've said a million times, it was actually Batman the Animated Series and the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, the cartoons are badass, and sometimes some of them X-Men cartoons followed pretty much verbatim from some of those comic runs in the late 80s, early 90s and shit. So I want way more comic accurate cartoon like series. I think that'd be fun to see and to experiment with. And then just like how we always loved Spider-Verse from a few years ago, way more animated comic movies too, you know. So
I'm sorry. I got to read this. This is a description of Dick Fight Island, and this is at a bookstore. This is they do this at the Barnes and Noble that is kind of closest to me, where they have someone that works there recommend something, so they write their own like description of what it is, and this is one of the handwritten description. It says Dick Fight Island, the absolute peak of storytelling. It is a spellbinding tale of warriors battling for supremacy with their girthy sabers. The art is beautiful enough to leave a man screaming in ecstasy. You would ride Dick Fight again. That's the description.
I mean, long fucking live horny weebs. You know what I mean? Like this. I don't care what you're into. Horny weebs have won. You know.
I mean, I guess. But,
horny weebs
can't...
are on a whole different level than like lonely incels. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Lonely incels are assholes. Yeah. Horny weebs they're okay.
I mean, I guess. I mean, horny weebs. I guess they don't know how to do multiplayer. Apparently, that's what Elden Ring has got this dude. Let me solo her coming out helping weebs fight in a Souls game.
I mean, that's not the horny though.
No, it's not horny, but I mean, they're probably watching it at the same time. It's probably why they can't do multiplayer, because they're watching fucking horny fucking hentai shit on one screen. On the other screen, they're playing Elden Ring and be like, well, how do I beat this thing? Wait, hold on, nipple. Okay, I'm back to the game. It's like, what the fuck?
No, I mean, I'm glad you brought it up. Like that, here's the thing that I loved about that whole storyline, and it kind of blew up this past week. You got somebody who's just helping people beat certain bosses or beat this really, really hard boss. And he's becoming all legendary and so famous. In fact, the FromSoft was like, we're going to make you basically a helpful NPC in the actual game, like your likeness. That doesn't happen with anything else. Like, I've never seen that or heard of that before, ever. That's awesome.
I mean, yeah, that's rare. But I mean, come on. To me, it just shows that the people are not helping each other in the Elden Ring community. So they have this one player that knows how to co-op and is like, hey, I'm gonna help you, beat this hard boss. And they're like, well, this is kind of a Souls clone. This is I should be able to do the solo like the older Bloodborne and Souls game. And like, well, do you want help or not? And like, yeah, I guess. And so he helps him beat the boss, and then he moves on. But it's like there are other games. I brought up Monster Hunter World, where people are constantly helping each other out. People are constantly offering help and offering people to jump in games. But like, and Elden Ring's a 4-player game.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me back up a little bit though, before like someone playing it actually throws their fucking headset or whatever, throws their earbuds. Every time you beat a boss, like it automatically kicks you out, kicks the people who have joined your game out of co-op anyway. So, like, let's just start with that.
Okay, so you beat the boss, but you still reap the rewards, correct?
Yeah, you get some some runes in this game or whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But the cool thing is that he's got a unique look. He helps you on one of the hardest bosses, and there's millions of other people that help out and do this kind of thing. But he's got a unique look, and he literally tries to solo McQuella or whatever her name is.
So
But
his unique look, he's in underwear with a pot on his head.
yeah,
Which
that's it. With two
so,
with two katanas that do the blood loss.
I mean, so that's cool. I praise his character for helping out these people that can't like beat admittedly a difficult game. But to me, it just shows that their online community is trash. Like if it seems like they're not really helping each other based on these articles with this person that's really good.
No,
To me, it's just like I feel like people aren't reaching out maybe as much.
no.
Maybe I don't know. I don't
Here,
play the game, but
yeah.
based
So
on the
let me
articles that I'm reading
let
about
me
this character,
let me
this
clarify.
person,
Let me clarify. There's bonfires and there's summon stations. Almost every time I put my furled finger or whatever down to do the co-op or helper co-op or whatever, or have someone join my game to co-op, I see a bunch of signs everywhere. The map is huge. So it's definitely not true that he's one of the few. Like, there's plenty of people helping.
so
He's
then
just one. He's just
why
one
is
of the
this
most.
person elevated to where he's a conjured
Because
character?
he's really focused on one really hard boss, and he's got a unique look, and he's so OP and has dedicated himself to beating that character so many times that it's just become a legendary story. And his YouTube or Twitch or whatever has just blown the fuck up. So it was a feel good fun story, but don't get it twisted. There's plenty of people helping. I help. B-Boy Frost, who's I think in the chat right now,
He's
he
in,
helped me.
or he might have
he
left.
just-
He might
he-
have went to go play.
He just said the exact reason why he hasn't started New Game Plus on Elden Ring is so he can help people.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And I'm helping some people from work. I mean, there's plenty of people helping. Yeah. This guy's just famous.
This just feels like weebs don't know how to communicate to each other because they're afraid of social contact. And
Well,
this dude is like ultra weeb. He's like, hey, we can be friends online. Let me help you with my nakedness.
Yeah, but you don't have to
So-
know anybody to help people. You can literally just put your sign down right by a boss and just be like, I will help whoever summons me first. And he's just like, I'm gonna solo this boss. And you can help or not, but I'm gonna solo pretty much. And that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So his is he a PC player?
That I believe so. I believe he is a PC player. I'm not 100%
because
sure on that.
his tag is "Let me solo her"
Master
or
Race.
his.
But what I was gonna say too, though, to me the coolest thing isn't even the whole co-oping and helping. Again, there is like all of these spirit summons or whatever that you can get, and they're based on a lot of bosses or enemy types, and they can help you. Like you summon them as like ghost spirits that'll basically be like an NPC but a helpful one. They have one now. I think after the latest patch, there's just a carbon copy of this guy, so you can have your own Let Me Solo Her helping you on a whole bunch of different bosses or earlier game bosses and whatnot. You don't ever fucking see it. I played the shit out of Monster Hunter. You didn't have nothing like that in there.
No, you didn't, because one, Capcom would never do that kind of shit ever, and two, I mean, it's the same thing. Once you beat the monster, the game, your match ends. So,
Yeah.
but I think it's just funny that to me it just feels like the Elden Ring community is having communication issues with each other because they're afraid to use their mic or something. And this guy
Well,
is out there like, I'm gonna fucking help you people with this. I'm
You
gonna
are
show you how to make friends online.
you're not wrong on that in terms of just like Monster Hunter, where you would see like some people with just the Japanese text or whatever,
Mhm.
and you'd be like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to communicate with this person, but they're probably gonna be good as shit. There are many times when people join no fucking mic and whatnot and help, don't say a fucking word, do a fucking bow or like what's that shit where they
Emote.
yeah, they emote, they do the squat down, what's the
Teabag?
shit from Halo?
Teabag?
Teabagging.
Oh,
They do
okay.
the teabagging dance or whatever, and then they just help you beat bosses or whatever. But you're right. Plenty of people don't have fucking mics at all. That does slightly irk me because you know me. I'm like, dude, if you gonna get on co-op, I need to be able to
Yeah, you
communicate.
should have a fucking mic.
Yeah, but
Fucking
it's fine.
weebs.
Fucking weird. Dick Fight Island.
So I say definitely congratulations to the player. I hope they gave him something cool or paid him or something.
Well,
I don't know.
He's getting paid off that YouTube and Twitch money.
True, but I
All
hope
them stories got him blowing up.
I mean, I hope FromSoft maybe offered him a job or something. I don't know. I hope they did something
That's
for
going
him.
a bit far.
I mean, you can add them to the QA, so you never know.
Who
You know,
knows?
little testing job, doing it remote. But congratulations to Let Me Solo Her. You're famous. You got famous for being a good player by helping the community and not being a fucking troll. So that's great. I actually hope other people take this guy's example and try to help other people in communities because there's a lot of people that need help.
Hell
You
yeah.
don't need to be on there and berate them. Be on there and help them. So
And
there
there's
you
an
go.
equal amount of people who will just invade your game and wreck you. So,
All bad.
so good shit. All right, where else we going, guys?
Oh, I mean, I know where we can go, but it would definitely probably end the podcast once we're done.
What happened?
So for weeks now, actually months, Kronos talked about this earlier. We haven't really touched on it in months. We keep talking about it at the end of the show. We got time now. It's time to talk about fucking Star Trek. There's two Star Trek shows that have been running kind of simultaneously. There's one on now that's probably going to end in May. A new Star Trek show starts on the 5th of May. We got Cronus. We have to put this out there. Star Trek Discovery just ended early April, end of March.
Yeah, I need to start. I don't think the Discovery. I don't think I'm caught up. I might be one behind, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're pretty close. You're like one or two towards
I'm
the
pretty
end.
close.
But what can you talk about? What you've seen so far?
I mean, I gotta.
If you remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back and remember like what was on.
So wait, did they go to a different galaxy yet?
Well, sort of. They were like in between like this weird like place with like the new species. Actually, no, I think it did finish. With that new, I forget the name of the species, but basically they were mining an element from their universe, and it was like destroying planets and shit like that. And they finally got to communicate with them, and they were just like, "Oh, my bad." They were trying to fix it. Yeah, it's like, "Sorry, we just destroyed your planet and all that shit." So, how can we pay reparations? Yeah.
That's literally what happened. They're like, "Oh shit, this makes us sad. Our bad. Yeah. We'll fix it right now."
I thought it was interesting because there was like, I don't know, it's interesting in like these times like where you have a species that sees like they made a mistake that even though it wasn't on purpose, that was still like, oh shit, like we did that, but how can we fix it? And it's just like I bet you like Americans just like, you can't do that, you can't do it because it wasn't on purpose. I'm so mad. I want all my shit. Fuck everybody else. It's just like, but yeah, they were just like, once they realized that they did something that was wrong, they were just like, oh, yeah, let's fix that. We'll go like mine shit somewhere else. We're not gonna kill like billions of sentient people. It'd be like if we realized that, that ants were sentient.
I'm just thinking that. Like, we're just close to the ants.
Yeah, we're just like, indiscriminately fucking chemically bombing them all the time and just like stamping them out and shit like that. And just like, as we're mining shit, we're just like killing millions of them. We don't give a fuck. But what if they had like societies that we can understand and they can communicate with us? And that's what like this other race realized, or entity realized, is that they were mining.
It was a race because you see more than one of them.
Yeah. I was just trying to like think of like, would it be a race? But yeah, I guess it would be a race. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much. So I can't. You pretty much described the end of the series, but there's
a lot more there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a lot that got them there, but because there's like a huge guest star that Prodigy kind of spoiled.
Yeah.
But I watched it, so I'm glad it wasn't spoiled for me.
My bad. I didn't know.
I didn't spoil for K-Mac because I know she's a fan of this person, so I didn't spoil it for her.
Okay. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. Just realizing, because you and we met Sonequa Martin Green.
Yeah.
And she's kind of, she was in heels, but she's kind of a tall person. And then the guest that they show, she towers over her. I'm like, God dang, she must be really tall. Because Sonequa's probably like maybe 5'9", 6 foot, maybe.
She's definitely not 6 foot. She seemed like average height with heels, man.
I'm talking about in heels. Well, she's taller than me.
You think so?
Yeah, no, I know so because I talked to her during the screening of The Boys, and she stood up next to me. She's taller. Well, I mean, but like I said, she's wearing heels. So
yeah, because she's 5'5".
oh yeah, well, I mean, she did have big heels, but
Yeah.
still. But yeah, it was good to see the guest star. So I mean, it's still kind of fresh. I know some of you are probably catching up, but it was good to see. Um, it was an interesting season because it felt like the ideology of the '60s Trek was there. Like, let's boldly go and figure out. And then they got this cosmic mystery, and it felt kind of like the whole. Excuse me, kind of similar to the motion picture type story, but it had a original series feel where let's reach out to this alien race and try to communicate with them and get them to stop. While the other half of the galaxy is like, no, they rage. This is an act of war. We need to destroy them. But it's like, dude, if they have this kind of technology, there's no way we can win. They're like, well, we need to find something. So they brought it down to. I felt like a classic Trek with new age special effects. So I felt like that in a way that was kind of refreshing to me.
Yeah.
Did they use dick swords? Sorry.
There's no dick swords.
No, there's no dick swords.
There's no dick
But
whips.
there was some cool gadgets and stuff.
There were. I like the way that the aliens communicated with the humans. I thought that was pretty neat. It was really unique to the way that we would normally communicate. So.
Oh yeah. So I have to say I felt like it was kind of a ripoff from Arrival, even though I did not like that movie. I felt like this series did it better. But they looked like the aliens from Arrival. They communicated almost identically like in the Arrival. The only difference was they were in their own like gaseous environment where they survived. And this one there's reverse. They provided an environment where the humans and humanoids could survive. So
well, in Arrival, if I remember correctly, it was visual only. It wasn't the other thing.
Well, they made similar sounds with the weird like baritone, like hornish kind of sound.
Yeah, but the way they were communicating had nothing to do with sound.
No, they did have the weird pictures. They're like or the dirt picture things that they were doing.
It was like lights in their sort of face is.
No. In Arrival, not.
Oh, okay.
Star Trek. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was definitely interesting. I like the fact that they had to discover a new way to communicate. And that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So moving on to. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say let's move on to Picard because goddamn, listen, if you're a real Star Trek fan, especially Star Trek The Next Generation, you're gonna bust a nut over this fucking show. Like for real. Like they bring back pretty much fucking everybody. And they're still I think I'm like maybe one behind. But yeah, they're bringing back folks from like all kinds of places, and they even allude to people that are from other Star Trek shows. So I've been definitely really enjoying this one, especially with like the whole like Borg Queen like new storyline and seeing Picard and like all these other people that are like surrounding him. It's been like such a really good storyline, and like they fucking try time travel or like universe travel or whatever.
I mean, those are always popular in Star Trek. You can't have a Star Trek show without time travel. Even Discovery has like they have universal or dimensional travel and time travel. So Picard, of course, they have time travel, and this is probably one of the more popular. I mean, season 2, and we got Q. I mean, Q for me, he's like one of my favorite villains because he's such a pompous dick, but he always has like that silver lining lesson to learn
message
in this. Yeah. And I have to say, young Guinan is pretty fucking bad in this fucking series. Like, god dang, she's sticking all the right places. I'm like, damn, that's Guinan. I mean, you kind of knew it was her when you see her.
I need to see her with eyebrows though. Just saying. I need to see her with eyebrows.
Wait, what type of thickness do I need to look up? I'm sorry,
yeah, so Guinan, Whoopi Goldberg's character, they go back in time to where she's in 21st century America. She's in LA, but she looks like she's 24 or something.
It's Wagon Wednesday though. She got that ass up?
Oh yeah, she got all kind of ass. And she's got I was just like, damn. And so Picard is like, she's basically his only link to the future because in the past. So he uses her once again for guidance, even though she's younger and she doesn't really know him. But it still
Oh
works out pretty
man.
well. Um, the only thing that kind of bugs me, I don't know how far you are, because I mean it does involve Picard's like leniency, I guess, or his legacy per se.
Mm-hmm.
But his brother's not talked about a whole lot. His brother died in Generations, so he's not even talked about at all. Neither is his nephew. So
Maybe,
I'm hoping they kind of fix that soon.
maybe it'll come around.
So,
Sorry, I was looking up young Guinan.
young Guinan. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know the actress's name, but she thick as all
she's got
hell.
some muscles on her. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she thick
She
as
got
hell.
them uh Michelle Obama arms.
Oh
I'm just
goddamn.
saying. Her name is Ito. I'm gonna fuck up her last name horribly. A guy Yeri.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Sure, sure.
I wish I could pronounce it correctly. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, but I'm probably fucking up her name.
Sure.
But yeah, it's I don't know how much she's been acting for how long, but she does a pretty good job of like picking up on Whoopi Goldberg's like mannerisms in the show and like looking sort of like her in the show. And I think it's pretty cool. And like what's really cool about this show is like showing like the way that they are integrating all these old characters into like way back in the day. So like even like Data's character, like they're basically showing like the person who made like the ancestor of like the person who made Data, of like showing him as like as I mean, it's basically it's the same actor, but he's like an older
Mhm.
guy, and it's like it's
Mhm.
really interesting and like showing like the like his first like kind of foray into like illegal technology of like a character that was in Picard in like the last season. And so like
Yeah.
all those other characters are like in the last season or in previous, Star Trek shows that are in this series, but just as like different people. I thought that was like a really cool way to do that. And also showing like um apparently you can't time travel when you're Mexican descent either. So
At least
yeah.
not to now. Yeah, at least not to now. At least
Yeah.
so you can't if you're near like a state that borders Mexico.
Yeah.
There you go. The only another thing, apparently, Data's human ancestors. Apparently, they all study genetics every other generation or whatever. Because if you ever seen Star Trek Enterprise, Data's Sung ancestor was studying eugenics. So he's like one of the people that helped Khan and his people with their genetic, I guess, their genetic enhancing and making the eugenic people and perpetuating the eugenics war in Star Trek history. So I thought it was kind of funny that another Soong um, relative, like centuries before, is involved in genetics again. I think that it's like a family legacy or whatnot. So, but it's just as creepy as it was in Enterprise that they always are either morally ambiguous or virtually crossing moral lines to get what they want, which I thought is like, I guess that's like a family trait or something.
Yeah, definitely crossing lines. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. I don't know if you've already seen. There's already a teaser trailer for season 3 of Picard.
Wow, really?
Yes, they showed it on Paramount Plus's YouTube page because everyone from Star Trek: The Next Generation, the main cast is back for season 3. Everyone's back, guaranteed. And they show like a little. It's about 20 seconds, but then they list everyone that's back, and they show like a little conversation between Riker and Picard about what's about to go down. I'm like, oh shit.
I heard about that, but I mean, listen, everybody, if you're a Star Trek fan, just take note. Like, it's coming to an end soon with like shit like this
Mm-hmm.
because the vast majority of that cast they're fucking old as shit.
Mm-hmm.
So especially Picard, Sir Patrick Stewart is not getting any younger. He's up there in age. He's up there with what's his name? Captain Kirk.
Ian
What?
McKellen.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
all right.
They don't be older than him. Shit.
yeah.
William
Oh,
Shatner.
I don't
He
know.
definitely
Shatner's
looks
pretty
better than
old.
William Shatner.
Yeah, Shatner isn't Shatner 90? He's up
I don't
there.
know, but either way, these guys are like they're up there in age, so just enjoy their time that they have left on like giving us these shows to enjoy. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that these guys are still acting.
Yeah.
So, but thank you because they can still act relatively well. I'm definitely enjoying the content they're putting out.
Yeah, I believe I don't know if it's 100%, but Picard season 3 might be the final the series ending season, which would make sense.
I mean, yeah, Patrick Stewart, he's 81 years old.
Oh, Shatner's
So-
older. Shatner's 91.
Damn.
Is it okay?
Damn.
I gotta catch up on these series, man. I need to borrow one of y'all's Paramount or whatever.
No, you fucking
Oh.
pay. How dare you?
I ain't paying shit.
No, you pay.
Yeah, you break your
You pay
butt.
now.
Pay. Like I said before, there's a new Star Trek show May 5th. It is called Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Yep.
It is with
Pike.
Christopher Pike, and before Kirk takes over, even though they casted I guess he's Commander Kirk or Lieutenant Kirk on the show. The guy they got to play Kirk, he looks like a serial killer. Just saying, he just it's just kind of weird looking.
Do I have
but...
to say? I'm not gonna say it. Not gonna say it, but y'all that know what I'm fucking say.
yeah, man. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Strange New World. I do like Rebecca Romaine Stamos as a number 1. And they gave her a name this time. I think they gave her the name that was in the original pilot. So it'll be interesting. The guy who played
Wait,
Spock,
hold up. You telling me I get to see Rebecca Romaine still?
she's
If you saw her in the original Discovery.
Yeah, if you were watching Discovery, she's on that show. She's moving over to this.
Y'all didn't sell me on it with telling me Rebecca Romaine.
Motherfucker, we tried to tell you because you said you saw the first episode and you were like, no, that ain't me. I said, watch the second episode.
Cronus told you to watch the second episode. I told you to watch the second episode. One of us told you to watch them both at the same. Watch the first one, then watch the second one. Then, if you don't like it after the second one, then stop watching.
I even told you
didn't do any of that.
Klingons had 2 dicks, and you were like, "No, that ain't me."
Oh, and we told you there's Klingon titties. There's Klingon titties. Like literally, like they have purple nipples.
Yep. Dudes are getting raped by fucking Klingon chicks, and you were like, "No, that still ain't me."
Yeah, no, that's not me. But yeah, you'd rather see this fucking Dick Island shit.
Wait a minute. I wasn't looking up Dick Island.
Yeah, you was. Yeah, you was. I didn't see that history.
Honestly, the first season of Star Trek Discovery was dank as fuck.
It was dank.
Like
it reboots itself 3 times.
Yeah, it was so crazy. Like I was not prepared. I said it like when you said you couldn't watch, you didn't like the first episode. I was like, they should have made the first episode the first 2 episodes. That would have made the show like sink in because the first episode was okay. It was good, but then like the second episode was so awesome, and they get into like this crazy fucking like basically like it's almost like not a pygmy. What's the fucking albino? He's almost like an albino Klingon, of like filling a prophecy and like his whole thing, and like this one crazy chick like having like this human slave like constantly raping this dude and like fucking doing all kinds of crazy like mental implantation on this person, and like seeing the real interworkings of the Klingon culture back then, plus 2 dicks. I'm just saying, it was really a crazy way to start a new Star Trek series. And they
Klingon titties.
Yeah, and Klingon titties. Like they were showing a lot of stuff in the first season. It's definitely kind of gone a little bit away from that, but it's also other like fucked up shit that's happened, like whole genocides that have happened.
Oh. Maybe even a couple of genocides.
Yeah.
It's been. I mean, it had Michelle Yeoh. I was sold from there, and I was just like,
she's a badass.
Yeah, she was so good. And so there's supposed to be another show with her, another Star Trek show, the Star Trek Section 31.
Yeah.
And with her in the beginning of Section 31, with a character from Discovery. I'm really, really, really waiting on this fucking thing. It sounds amazing. I want this to come out. We got Strange New Worlds before it, which I'm on board. because I want to see Pike as the captain before he loses his crazy, before he becomes an invalid, really. So it's going to be interesting to see what he goes through. They look like they're bringing in some cool shit. The guy who plays Spock, he's in season 2 of Discovery. He proved himself, so we'll be able to see what goes on further in this new series. So I'm on board. I want to see what they do.
You got
I'm
fucking
hoping.
you got Vulcan ninjas too. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, which they cross over generationally
Yeah.
because they cross over from Picard to Discovery.
Yeah.
They last like 1,000 generations. So it's pretty awesome. Missing out. And then there's Lower Decks. Lower Decks is just like The Boys, but animated. Or I guess Diabolical before it was out.
Yeah.
So Lower Decks is pretty funny. I really like that show. I didn't think it'd be as good as it is, but I thoroughly enjoyed Star Trek Lower Decks. You guys should too. There you go.
What season are they on Lower Decks?
3. Season 3, I guess, is later on this year. I think end of summer. I think August is the slated release. It could get pushed back. But yeah, really quick, jumping off of Star Trek, talking about getting stuff pushed back. Apparently, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse got pushed back to 2023. To summer 2023.
All good. Take your time. Get it right. You got a lot of expectations, a lot to live up for. I'm going to be really honest. This was my most anticipated comic book movie of the fucking year. Like, I was looking forward to this more than anything else.
Yeah.
So,
me too. I mean, honestly, I said it before, it's better than most MCU movies. The first Into the Spider-Verse. It had me questioning why the fuck we're still making live action comic movies, because it was so fucking good. And anybody that watches the first Into the Spider-Verse, if you don't have the same thought, I mean, tell me why.
Yeah.
Because I would like to know your thoughts on that. But like seeing like all the comic book references and like the the POWs and like even like the lower frame rate and cell shading, it was like such a throwback to like comic books. And even some of the the actual comic book cells that are sometimes in the movie, it was so well done. And looking forward to like the new one. I'm okay with it being pushed back because we still have content that is still like trickling through from COVID. Some of them are not good, like Morbius apparently, but some of them that could be generally excellent. So just we have time for for movies and games and all that stuff. Just make it good, because the thing you don't want to fucking do is have it pushed back and then have a shit piece of media like Cyberpunk 2077, perfect example,
or Battlefield 2042.
Yeah, well, I think Cyberpunk is even worse though, because that game was fucking broken.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
The thing I will say is, when it comes to Spider-Verse or whatever, remember, a lot of people were not familiar, unless you were a hardcore comic book fan, with Miles.
Yeah.
And it was like this perfect introduction to this character before the video game, and then you had that double whammy of Spider-Verse being damn near fucking perfect. And then the Miles Morales standalone DLC, whatever you want to call it, was excellent as well. And now Miles is like this fucking household name, and to a lot of younger folks, that is their Spider-Man, period. You know what I mean? More than Peter even, which is crazy to hear. But yeah, I'm okay with them delaying it. Put your heart and soul into this, Sony. This is like your bread and fucking butter, and I think you can do almost fucking anything with this movie. I already want it to be a trilogy. I really do. Maybe even a 4-parter.
Yeah. Honestly, I want to see like that. I want to see more Miles Morales, and I also want to see a Spider-Gwen movie. I really do.
Dude, here's the thing that's so funny to me. People care way more, just based on Spider-Verse, about Spider-Gwen than they do Spider-Woman. And they've been trying to get Spider-Woman to be a thing since like the 70s or whatever. Spider-Gwen.
Right. I totally forgot about that. Holy shit. Yeah, I remember the 70s they tried to have Spider-Woman. That did not work at all.
She's never really popped off, but Spider-Gwen instantly, like my daughter saw the ballet shoes on fucking Spider-Gwen and was like, this is the coolest character I've ever seen. And she had the coolest costume in the movie.
She does. She has honestly, she has one of the very best Spider-Person costumes ever. Yeah. It's fucking dope. And even if you don't like the color pink, Just look at her costume. She's got a fucking hoodie on.
Great.
I'm like, God damn, that's hard to beat.
Yeah.
I like Silk's costume's kind of cool.
It's pretty. It's high up there too. But
I just don't like the scarf.
yeah.
But everything else is pretty cool.
When also giving Miles like just this incredible swag, like he's got the Jordans. He doesn't tie his shoes. He's putting like little stickers with the "My name is" with the tag kind of sign on it all over the. I mean, everything fucking worked about that shit. Even the soundtrack with Sunflower and all
good.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah, I just want them to get it right. Pay all the creators, everybody with that. Take your fucking time, Sony. Make it fucking happen. And then the other thing is, if they delay it till next year, there's a strong possibility you may get that movie being the hot shit in 2023 and Spider-Man 2 PS5, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they also pushed. So I kind of left this part out. It's part 1 of Across the Spider-Verse. I think it's June or July 2023, and then part 2 would be 2024. I think October, around October, November or something. 2024.
Even better. I'm fucking down, man.
So it sounds like they're making it all at once, and they're just gonna split it.
Then that makes even more sense in terms of the delay and whatnot. So yeah, 2023 will be another huge fucking year for Spider-Man. Not like Spider-Man had a bad year already. Like No Way Home made all the fucking billions.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Real quick before we like wrap it up, I don't know how close we are, but did y'all get a chance to look at the Saints Row, the new Saints Row like customization demo?
No. I just saw they showed some naked dude. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh,
I saw a little bit of it. Yeah.
Oh man,
it looks fun.
God damn. All right, so I tweeted about it earlier, and honestly, this new Saints Row has the Saints Row the Third feel to it. Like they have the perfect time to make a new Saints Row game and like kind of steal the thunder of GTA again. So if y'all just go back in time with me to when Saints Row the Third came out. I forget exactly when it came out. It was a while back. I'll look it up as I'm talking, but it was a while back, and I was not a Saints Row fan. I remember playing I didn't play any of the previous games before Saints Row the Third, but Saints Row the Third had so much fucking hype after it came out. I was like, damn, this I gotta check this out. Like what's going on? I started playing it. It was basically they outdid GTA 4 like by a fucking country mile.
Yep.
Like, and it wasn't even close. Like they were the gameplay was on point. The social commentary was better than GTA 4. They had more content than GTA 4 did.
Yep.
It was just more fucking fun. This is back in 2011 is when Saints Row the Third came out, and Saints Row 2 came out in 2008, and it wasn't very well known. The first Saints Row that came out and Saints Row 2 they were just known as like GTA knockoffs. But then Saints Row the Third came out and just fucking kicked GTA in the fucking dick.
Yep.
And they're just like, this is what we're doing. Y'all want to have fucking big titty She-Hulks running around like Prodigy did? You got it. Do whatever you want. You want to drink some sodas that make you a superhero? We got you some Saints Flow. You know what I mean? Basically, you become a goddamn superhero eventually, and they didn't even allude to that in any of the fucking material before the game came out.
Dude, don't ever forget the giant purple dildo bat was in Saints Row the Third. That is still to this day one of the funniest and greatest weapons. And the other thing is, it wasn't just a joke fucking weapon. That shit could destroy fucking tanks.
Yep.
It was so beautiful.
Yep.
So I think the first time I actually went to one Prodigy's home in the Bay, he booted up Saints Row just so I could see it. Busted out his She-Hulk character, busted out the giant purple dildo bat, and destroyed a tank with it. And I was like, what? And then he turned the game off. I was like, wait a minute. So, nah, that's it. That's all you get to see. I'm like, hold on. What the fuck just happened? You booted up, pulled out this big ass dildo, and destroyed like a tank with like 6 hits.
And this is something else that was really good about Saints Row the Third is that they had it was an open world game that had full co-op throughout the entire fucking game.
Yep.
That you can play, and GTA still doesn't do that. You still can't do that with GTA. I remember when the first time I saw Prodigy's fucking character, we joined up. I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on here? Like, why do you have pasties on with giant anime titties and you're green?
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, we're just gonna go around and just fuck shit up. We just cause mayhem. So
it was so fun. One of the best of all time. I hope they come back hard as fuck. Because here's the other thing too that you guys all know, and we've talked about this since forever. As amazing as GTA 5 is, and how many hundreds of millions of copies it sold, we don't know when the fuck we're getting GTA 6. So this is a golden time right now to bring that hammer down and come out with something that's just over the top and fun.
And it looks like it. I mean, like so basically today they were going over like the customization options in the game through both characters, vehicles, and weapons. And obviously I was interested. I thought it was just gonna be characters, but it wasn't. It was all three. And the character customization was like so involved and like awesome. It was shit that I was not even expecting. So once they showed that you can customize your fucking teeth, I was like, bruh, your goddamn teeth? And it wasn't even just like 1, 2, 3. It was like a whole bunch of options for your teeth. And then they were like casually showing like people with like prosthetic limbs. I was like, holy shit. Like, I've never seen a single customizable game, to my knowledge, where you can customize a person having a prosthetic limb. And I was just thinking, like, just imagine if somebody that lost a limb or was born without a limb, and now you can customize your character to look sort of like you.
That's awesome. And you talk about one of the categories that we always see at the Gamer Awards of late is that inclusion or accessibility and whatnot. I mean, this is some cool shit, like Kronos mentioned, especially if you're someone who's missing that body part. And you want something that looks like you. That it's just fucking fun. And who doesn't? I think there are people who spend literally a full day or two just customizing their character if the customization screen is good. I'm not necessarily one of those people all the time because I can make a big titty She-Hulk really
like,
quickly.
Tits up. I'm good.
Yes, exactly. That's it. That's all I need.
Pasties. You know what I mean?
Good. And then don't forget, remember, and I didn't even play the game, but remember for CD Projekt Red, who I used to praise the shit out of with Cyberpunk, they teased us. Everybody thought that you'd be able to make your Cyberpunk with the big schlong or, the giant titties too. And they said, nope.
Well, hold on. You can make your character with the schlong. Just the titties are just not anime. It's either either extra small, medium, or like extra medium.
Can I keep it real too, though? The dicks weren't big enough.
There you go.
God dang.
If you
with a straight hold on.
Straight face.
If y'all are listening to this,
dicks are big enough.
If you're listening to this via audio, Kronos had the straightest face of all time. Just like he's staring at you to challenge him. If you're listening to this audio, it was like, say something.
I wanted the Mandingo option. I didn't get it.
No, there's no Mandingo option.
And you know what? They kind of did a little bit of bait and switch. Everybody and their mamas was expecting that you could put a cybernetic huge schlong on your fucking self or some giant titties.
Saints Row would have done it. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. And you know what? Saints Row is going to let me sword fight with them motherfucking giant schlongs too. We're going to go on an island.
Yeah. So, going on about Saints Row.
I knew it.
Apparently you can be totally naked if you want.
Holy shit.
And apparently they were saying that you can have it either blurred out or not blurred out. So there you go if you want to be totally naked. The vehicle customizations look pretty cool as well. Oh, sorry, going back to the person, like the people customizations. They had like some of the clothing were like fucking insane. Like they had like it was like active clothing. Like it was like you put on like some clothes and it would like do like you would have like super sparkly clothing or like shit that scrolled, like all kinds of crazy shit that you could wear. You can customize your fucking socks, your shoes, your underwear, like fucking everything. Your hair, scars, tattoos, full body tattoos. It was a lot.
See, that's fucking fun. That's what we need in this day and age. You know what I mean? Just let us have fucking full range console, PC, whatever, where we can just party with it. Like, do whatever the fuck it is we need to. So I'm loving it. I can't wait for.
You know what? I was disappointed by Cyberpunk's because they're preset tattoos, so you can't and you can't place them where you want. You have to do as they give you, like either a sleeve or whatever. Like at least in GTA, the tats you can place like torso, leg, arm. You couldn't do that on Cyberpunk. It's like you do their preset and that's it. Because I wanted particular tattoos and I couldn't get it.
Yeah,
I was kind of
and the new Saints Row, you can have literally fucking tan lines the way you want it. Like you can have like a tan in like whatever form and function that you want. And the vehicle customization was pretty cool too. You can customize everything in the vehicles, even though let's be honest, you're not going to customize a vehicle that much. I mean, you might. Oh, actually, no, you will because they showed off 2 features on vehicles that were actually pretty fucking cool. 3. One was the ejector seat, which is dope. You can eject out and like have like your wings and shit and kind of fly before you get powers if you get them in this game, which I assume that you're going to, which would be cool. Another one was having an anchor on your vehicle. It's like a tow hook where you can connect it to another vehicle and then just drag it around with you. Another one was basically you can drag around a fucking like a wrecking ball. So if the cops are chasing you, you can drag a wrecking ball behind you and do like a donut and just like knock everything out of your way and just like fuck shit up. I thought that was really cool. And then also you have fully customizable weapons to your specifications. And like some of them, like they showed some that were like ridiculous. Like they had like the guitar case that shoots rockets. They had fucking foam fingers that were like fucking pistols. They had other ridiculous weapons that look cool. Because Saints Row always has ridiculous weapons. My favorite was the dubstep gun.
Yes.
So I fucking love that shit. So
that shit was great.
And then the Dibble Bat was great too.
Well, and don't forget, I mean, like you've had some incredible voice actors in this. The legendary Keith David was in Saints Row.
Wasn't he the president?
Yeah.
I was like, was that or Rick and Morty? It was both.
I think it was both.
Yeah,
it was both.
He is the president of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
He's probably the only one that can go toe to toe with Rick and survive.
Dude, that shit was great, man. I'm fucking on board. I'm really glad for this franchise coming back, and I'm glad that they didn't shy away from being off the hook. So
yeah.
All right, let's wrap it on up.
Wait, hold on, really quick. So the dates for Spider-Man Across the Universe: June 2nd, 2023, and October 7th, March 29th, 2024 for part 2. There you go.
Yeah, I'll be there. Old Ninja, what you got populating this week? God damn it.
So I'm still all about this fucking Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga. I took a little break to play No Man's Sky with their new update, which has been really way more action packed. It's called the
Outlaws?
It's called the Blight. Yeah, it's called the Blight you're facing outlaws. So basically these pirates have taken over certain systems across the universe, and you got to figure out why and what they're about. You got to basically find their hideout and put an end to them. So it's been pretty interesting. They've introduced like solar sailor ships, which are really fucking cool looking.
Yeah,
holy shit!
They're
they have different
Transformers.
tiers. Yeah, they're fucking dope as fuck. It's cool. It's been crazy because in the pirate system, you can buy black market items, which are cool. But if you go to a legal system, you can be stuck with a random search. Like you'll be like basically you warp when you warp to a planet, you don't have control, but you can stop basically. But when you're going to a planet within the system, patrol system will show up and scan you. If you have illegal material on you, they're going to try to shoot you down.
So when you kill them.
So yeah, but I mean, they send out reinforcements until you either land at a station or somehow lose them. Or if you're really souped up, you can try to take them out, but you're probably going to lose eventually. So it's been really fun. It's been really fun doing these space wars, even though they had to change the timer on how you get like hoarded on by pirates, because it was like every 90 seconds to 2 minutes that you would run into them, and you couldn't like search and do shit. So there's a patch that came out, I think, yesterday. So it's been, and they have a new expedition to do all this shit. It's been really fun. You can do it in like 2 or 3 days, but they give you 5 weeks, so it's been fun. It's supposed to rain here in the Bay. I think tomorrow morning or
It
tonight.
was raining for me right now, or at
It's
least
raining now.
right
Yeah.
before I walked out. When I walked
Yes.
out here, it was raining.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hear anything yet, but I'm probably gonna kind of keep it chill. I'm probably gonna go back to that chicken place. I'm trying to get Stitch to go. We talked about it briefly a little bit. He's been trying to find a way to get over there because it's in his work area. Um,
Wait, to where?
Dave's Hot Chicken. It's in Union
Oh,
City.
yeah.
Yeah, I recommend if you get the time, Cronus, I recommend you check it out. Just try to go before rush hour because they have like really long lines usually. Um, Checking out Moon Knight. We didn't talk about Moon Knight this week, but a new episode aired today. Picard is tonight. I've been watching Halo. New episode tonight. And oh, Young Justice Phantoms. Me and Blue have been watching it. We're gonna talk about it tonight, but Blue had to leave early, so we'll probably talk about it more next week. And that's kind of about it.
Kronos, what you got?
I'm still like recombobulating from like probably dropping like good 8 pounds in the span of 7 hours. I'm just saying it was terrible. But also thank you to my Toto toilet for like keeping the mess, you know. Also, can I just talk about real quick how my 5-year-old is a fucking savage? So she had to have a procedure last week. I'm not gonna go into that detail, but what she had to be put under general anesthesia, and they told us when she came home that she might throw up, when she gets home, or even on the way home. And so that night, she did start throwing up. So I slept in the same bed with her to make sure that she didn't choke on her own vomit, because that'd be terrible, right? And she got up in the middle of the night and she had to throw up like 4 times. But this is how savage my 5-year-old is. I would hear her like kind of have like a cough and then like hear like the vomit coming up. Like, hey, like let's go to the bathroom. So she would like get up by herself. She didn't want me to carry her or anything. She would walk to the bathroom, wouldn't even pull the toilet seat up. She would stand over, not even fucking crouch. She would just stand over the toilet, throw up real quick, and then flush the toilet, and then go back to bed. Like nothing even happened. And I was just like, okay. And then like literally like 2-3 days later, like we're all like deathly ill from like whatever the fuck she had. And like I'm like literally like hugging the fucking toilet, like just screaming, like like at the toilet, like throwing up. I'm like, this is terrible. And meanwhile, she was just like throw up a couple times. Wasn't crouching on the shit. So she did it, like it was easy. So yeah, that was pretty cool that she took it so well. And she didn't even complain about the body aches. She was just tired, which is fine. Another thing, we are remodeling the house, which is the outside right now because we're still in it, and we're going to move. But we had to pick like the color that we wanted today. And we're like, well, let's just do gray, like what's around the house. And I'm looking at all the houses around us. And I'm like, you know what? All these houses around us, so they're kind of like muted colors. Like, our house, our current color of our house, well, before today, was like yellowish, like beige or whatever. And then like the people that were doing the house are like, well, what color do you want? So I just deferred to my, to my realtor. Like, whatever you say. So she gave us like option. And then Kimek was like, well, let's just do blue. And I was just like, nah, let's go to like this other gray. And then I was like, then we went outside and like looked at all the houses. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do fucking blue. Like just make it like stand out like a motherfucker. We'll make it be opulent, I guess. So
there you go.
But it's interesting, like seeing like the house kind of transform on the outside, and like the whole house right now is like it's primer on the outside, and now they're gonna start like doing the first coat probably tomorrow for the paint, and then like doing some landscaping and stuff like that. So it's been interesting, like seeing the house change, and I got to pack a bunch, this week. So yeah, and a shout out to Mr. X. I went to his 40th birthday party last weekend.
Yeah,
and it was good to like actually get out there again. I'm like trying to normalize getting back out to seeing people, and that was pretty cool. I had a lot of fun until like the next day, and that's when I was like on death's door. But yeah, and I took a COVID test, so it's not COVID, so it was cool.
No Rona.
No, that's all I got.
Good shit. Well, I'm fucking catching up on quite a few things because I was in fucking exile for earlier this year. just felt good to have some family time. I had Cronus's brother come over with the whole family. I think on.
Don't even see me.
Yeah,
I'm like 500 miles away. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say it's kind of hard, but saw them on Saturday night. Just really low key kind of family meal or whatever, which was really nice. And to be honest with you, I just feel like it's great to have the ability to get home at a normal time, not staying out 10 or 11 o'clock at night working and shit. I'm going to fucking catch up on a ton of goddamn anime this weekend. And still, if B-Boy Frost will help me out or let me solo her, I'm trying to finish off the last 2 or 3 bosses on Elden Ring, which is going to be fun. And then I need to catch up on a ton of fucking comics as well. So a lot of just fucking good times and shit. But I'm hoping to spend a little time. I want to take my kids. I used to love taking them to the library up in the Bay. So I'm going to get them some library cards down here, which is kind of a fun family tradition and whatnot. So really looking forward to that shit. Oh, and I got my kids into like this great educational program with Kumon down here. Really excited about them just thriving with it. They seem to like the additional teachers for math and reading and all of that stuff. So really excited about that. Some fatherly shit. That's all I got. Old Ninja, take us out, goddammit.
All right. You just experienced Black and the Black Times Infinity.
Titty meats.
Or
dick swords.
Podcast. You know what? God dang. The dankest podcast on the internet that there is, at least for now. Check us out anywhere on the internet with Beat and BTI. It's BTHAN BTI. Anywhere that you listen or consume your podcasts. On YouTube, we go live every Wednesday night, 8:30 Pacific time. You can join us then and be part of the chat, be a part of the discussion. Check out our official website, benheadproductions.com/BTI. You can email us if you wish at bthenbti@gmail.com. We also have Discord. We're also on Twitch. You can check out some recent gameplay from some of us on there now. Yeah, I think that's all the stuff.
Right.
Don't be like Ezra.